The Texans Club Series had some great competitive games. I'm going to break down exactly what went down in them in this video. Hey, this is Time Bomb, and if it's your first time checking out the channel, hit that subscribe button to catch all the updates. Thanks a lot for joining me here today, guys. I wanted to go over the Texans Club Series, and I thought it was a really good final game. The games before it were pretty much a blowout, but we had Cjay beat Bob pretty good, and then Joerice beat Johnny, I can't remember how that's said, pretty solidly. So when we got to the final, it was set up for a pretty tight game, Joerice versus Cjay, and it did not disappoint. Now, both players, let's be honest, they're sitting in the meta. The current state of the game was on display here. We had, like a crossing nickel 3-3-5 odd blitz from Joerice all game, and then we had like a big nickel look from Cjay where he was pretty much trying to just sit in the A gap and just get some quick block sheds from his line and try to get some pressure in there quickly and then just cover. And it worked sometimes. It worked, but Joerice did the simple thing to avoid it. He did a lot of play action, which is the best way to negate that blitz. It took a while for Cjay, but eventually he did find some little soft spots in the zones where he could fit in some different passes and was able to finally capitalize. That was the thing. It was a lot of bend don't break defense from both sides, and they both were able to capitalize on the weaknesses of their opponent's defenses, but their defenses did a good job for the most part. It was like shut down, big play, like they went to it. So let's go over some of this. Well, the first drive was, Cjay put up a field goal. He had to push on fourth down. He did get it done, but let's take a look at when Joerice, who is probably the favorite, the best salary cap player at the start of this game, and when he is working down the ball field at first, Cjay is just sitting in dollar and just kind of letting it happen. And finally, he goes into a different formation. He's going to go into a big nickel here, and he's just going to, this is the first time he's going to send it, and he sends like a blitz. He's going to get in the A gap, lurking right in the middle, and baits Joerice over the middle and gets a big user lurk right there. Maybe it was just, the nerves of the big game. Maybe he just, because he switched up that defense for the first time, didn't see that lurk coming. Big play by Cjay. So he's up 3-0. He's got the ball in the first. He's got to be feeling good. He's definitely in control early in this game, and he does a great job moving the ball down the field, right? So Cjay's just, pounding against the nickel, and then finally it's not working, so he decides to, go for a little bit of a passing play. He's been running this Pat's verts or Pat's sail a lot. He sees a little opening on the side. Joerice clicks in, makes a huge click and pick on this play, and that's going to get the ball back for him. That's going to turn the tides a little bit for Joerice, because he was just, give him credit. He stayed cool. He believed in his defense. He just kept sitting in that linebacker cross out of the 3-3-5, the Pats defensive playbook, and just sitting in it, making slight adjustments to what he's seeing, shutting down the run. Better than, I wouldn't have the faith in it, especially in the red zone when he's just pounding forward for those 5 yards, that it would happen. But he does it. He gets it done, gets the big pick. So Joerice is, just running bunch, and just, Cjay is just back to the A gap nickel, just, gets the pressure in there, lets him just get these small gains. Joerice just plays it cool, moves the ball down the field, and ends up settling for a field goal on that next drive. So it's then kicking off to Cjay, though, and Cjay gets the ball back, and he gets a long kick return here right back in Joerice's face, which is pretty impressive. Because Joerice doesn't expect anything at all out of his kick return, and he just kicks it deep right at Cjay, and he gets the great blocking here. That's why it's so dangerous. It sucks that the scum kick seems to be like necessary for people, because the kick returns can get broken off, and no one really wants a kick return on them. So that's why people are so desperate to do anything they can. And this is kind of a lucky stroke here for Cjay, because he's got it tied up 3-3. He's in the red zone. He's going to be able to put up some points here. He gets it up 6-3. So then he's going to do a short kick, high kick. He doesn't want Joerice returning on him. and he's only going to be able to get a few yards off it to the 36 at the end of the half here. Joerice is down 6-3 at halftime. So it's a great game in the first half here. Just because of that long kick return at the end of the half, Cjay is able to put some points and go ahead. I would say he made a big mistake, though, in that throwing that pick in the red zone. But we're all there. We're all going to make mistakes early. We're going to learn. Can he adjust? He's still up 6-3. So we're going to go into the second half here. See, this is where Joerice has been really smart all game here. He's been coming out in this bunch and just been running some play action to kind of negate the nickel A-gap blitz, the big nickel A-gap blitz that Cjay has been running. And he's also been putting his Moss on the outside there on this hot route that's just burning. Look at this crossing route getting over top. He's finding him there over the middle all the time. It gets a little juke move, and he's gone down the field. This route has been deadly. Cjay hasn't been able to find an answer to cover it for the most part. If he isn't using it, then it's just basically getting wide open. So Joerice gets that big play, so he's going to go up 10-6 here early in the third quarter off a one-play touchdown. So that is gotta hurt a little bit for Cjay. So then Cjay has the ball in the third quarter here, and this is where I think it may have been his biggest mistake of the whole game, because it's a 10-6 game, fourth down, he goes for it, and not even for the first down. He goes for the end zone here, and I mean, it was close. He had a look there for sure, but it just seems so unnecessary. In the third, like halfway through the third, you put that field goal in, you're down a point. That means a field goal puts you up. I mean, it seems like the smart move to me is to go for it in that situation, and that's, I mean, hey, I'm not in the Texans Club Series or any club series for that matter, so maybe I can't say. But to me, it seems like the smart move as a conservative Madden player is to put points on the board in that situation. And I do kind of feel like that decision will come back to bite him. So going forward on fourth down in the red zone, and he doesn't put up the points. So now on the flip side, we've got Joerice, who a few minutes later here in the game, he's going to find himself in a similar situation. 4th and 4, just across the 50-yard line. An easier decision to go for it, for sure. And Joerice sends the same play basically he's been sending, but over the middle of the field, he finds Gurley there, and he's going to do a couple spins and still avoid those early hits, which sometimes knock the ball loose. He's going to get down, get the first down, and basically Joe is in field goal range here now. So that's the thing. Maybe it doesn't really cost Cjay because he's still within a touchdown by giving it up, as long as he keeps him to a field goal here. But still, I would rather be down just a point. I always want to be putting points up on the board, making sure that I'm getting closer to my opponent. Because if he does put up the touchdown here, then you're down, 7 for 11 points. That's a lot tougher. I'd rather just still be within at least the one score or 8 points. So Joerice is going to put up another field goal and go up 13-6. But Cjay does a great job here. He's going to come right back on his next possession. And he starts to notice some holes in what Joe has been sending at him. So as soon as he gets the ball, he just runs these two quick little corner plays to Moss. He just recognizes that there's a big opening running these corner plays. So he starts to just see them right here. We see on the bunch to the right of the field, and he's got basically like a Z spot looking play. See RB running wide open. He just finds him perfectly there within all the zones. Can't get all the way into the end zone, but he sees that, and you notice he's like, that's a big opening right there. So then he just flips the play and running it close to the end zone. The same thing basically here. Very few adjustments on this whole play, and he's just basically IDing, so he gets enough time. Boom, gets the wide open RB again there. Joe can't click on, and Cjay quickly within 2 plays is able to get into the end zone. He's got to be kind of hurting that he didn't notice that a little earlier in the game and tried to exploit it more. Maybe he was just waiting for the opportune moment, like right there, and he gets it done. So this game is 13-13 in the end of the fourth, and this is where Joerice kind of shows his experience to close out games. He knows how to win these games, and here Cjay sends another kick soft to him. He can't get much of a return inside the 40, but Joe is going to methodically move the ball down, and of course, again, what does he go to but that same play that he's been using all game, that same hot route that Cjay has not been able to stop. And again, he puts Moss on that route. Cjay's watching it though, he's just a step behind it. He just can't quite user it, and he is not able to shut it down. I think he knew it was coming. You saw him, he just went from being right in the A-gap trying to get that pressure from that little glitchy blitz to covering that route, and he just couldn't get there in time. And what Joerice did that was smart is that he was running play action to avoid getting those block sheds from his opponent and having his line do the job properly. Using that play action is the perfect call. I think it kind of messes up the play rec on some of the DBs too and gives them a lot more openings on the play action. I know a lot of times I'll say not to use play action, but this is a case where you need to use play action to avoid that pressure getting in there too quickly. So once he does get the ball that close to the red zone, then he's just going to pound the rock in, and he's able to just work the clock down inside the 30. And he's basically got 3 timeouts left still, Cjay, but once you get the first down like that, you can just kind of avoid the ice kick altogether just by, kneeling, spiking the ball, just running the ball. So he's going to be able to avoid the ice kick, not lose the ball, and then just put up a nice little easy kick, seal the deal, 16-3. So, I can't help but think, looking back at this game, that pick that Cjay threw in the first, that 4th and 3 that he went for it in the red zone rather than taking the points, that's the difference in this game right there. Those 6 points that he could have put up could have been a difference maker. And, hindsight's 20/20. Who can say exactly how the game would have gone if it was a different situation? But I think it's a good lesson to learn. Always take the points. Even if it is just a field goal, you never know how that can help you later in the game. Putting points on the board anytime you can is the best way to go. So this was an interesting game to see 2 top high-level players use the meta against each other, and one of them was a little bit smarter in their game plan, and I think that's why they came out on top, because they both had the skill to win this game. So that's a great club series. I really enjoyed breaking down, and I like watching this game, seeing exactly what went into them winning afterwards as I really look back at it. So hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more breakdowns, and give it a like if you were down with it as well. So I'm going to be doing these for as much of the tournaments as I can, and I should go back and do the first one as well. So thanks a lot. I've been Time Bomb. You guys are awesome, and I'll catch you later.